When you hear the word rhetoric, what comes to mind? Probably dusty old books, right? Ancient Greek speeches. Well, what if I told you that the secret to standing out in our crazy AI-driven world isn't some brand new technology, but a really, really old skill? What if rhetoric is about to become the single most important competitive advantage you have? So, let's just state the obvious. This is the fundamental shift we are all living through right now. AI is unleashing an absolute tsunami of language. I mean, just think about it. More articles, more emails, more social media posts, more of everything, and it's all being generated in seconds. The sheer volume is just exploding.
But here's the interesting part. It's a paradox, really. When the volume of words basically goes to infinity, the value of most of those words, well, it drops to almost zero. And this is exactly where new rhetoric comes in. See, it's not about who can produce the most content anymore. It's about who can make their content actually matter. It's the skill of making your voice the one that truly gets heard above all that noise.
And that, right there, is what this series, Forge Fundamentals, is all about. We're going to break down the modern persuasive patterns that work right now in this totally new environment. This is not about memorizing ancient rules, okay? It's about forging a modern toolkit for yourself.
This slide really nails the shift in thinking. On one hand, you've got the old view, right? Rhetoric as this museum piece, something you study, you look at, but you don't really touch. But the modern view, it sees rhetoric as a living, breathing tool, something you can actively sharpen and use to get a real, tangible edge in a very, very crowded world.
So how do we actually build this toolkit? We do it with something we call newly forged figures. Okay, think about it like this. I'm sure you've seen a brilliant persuasive move in an ad or a speech and just thought to yourself, wow, that was so effective. Well, a newly forged figure just gives that move a name, and that's the magic trick, because once you can name it, you can spot it everywhere, you can understand how it works, and you can start to use it yourself.
But why is this so urgent? I mean, why does this matter more today than, say, 10 years ago? It all comes down to the new reality we're all swimming in, the age of AI abundance.
Because when AI makes writing faster and easier for absolutely everyone, the real advantage shifts. It's no longer about speed. It all boils down to three key things that AI, by default, really struggles to deliver.
First up, a distinctive voice. You see, as AI just churns out more and more generic, kind of beige-colored text, having a unique, recognizably human style, that becomes your superpower. It's what cuts right through all the noise. And these new rhetorical tools, well, they're how you build that voice, piece by powerful piece. Second is sharpened intent. Look, it's not enough to just generate words anymore. That's the easy part. You need precision. These tools help you shape your message so it lands exactly the way you planned. It's the difference between being prolific and being truly purposeful. And third, strategic structure. AI can give you a river of text, sure, but rhetoric helps you build an argument. It's like building a bridge of ideas that safely carries your audience from your point to your conclusion. And that structure is what makes a message stick, long after they've stopped reading or listening.
So who is this really for? I mean, who gets an advantage from mastering this stuff? Is this just for academics in ivory towers? Absolutely not. Let's take a look at who really benefits.
If you're a student, this is your secret weapon for smarter analysis and way stronger essays. For you writers and speakers out there, it's all about crafting work that's not just good, but genuinely influential. And if you're a marketer, oh, this is your playbook for cutting through that wall of AI sameness and building a brand voice that actually connects with real human beings.
Okay, so how is this all going to work? We wanted to keep it super simple. Our goal is just to give you a foundational toolkit that you can start using pretty much right away. No fluff, just practical, useful tools.
For every single newly forged figure we explore, we're going to follow a simple four-part structure. First, we'll give you a clear definition. What is it? Second, its purpose. Why and when would you even use it? Third, we'll show you tons of real-world examples so you can see it in action. And finally, the most important part, application, how you can put it to work yourself. Definition, purpose, examples, application. Simple and totally actionable.
This series, Forge Fundamentals, is your starting point. This is where you master the core concepts. From here, the next stop is the AI Application Lab, where you'll turn these ideas into practical prompts. And the final step on the journey is human voice mastery, where you'll learn to transform that AI text into language that is unmistakably, powerfully your own.
When you get right down to it, this is the path forward.
The future of communication isn't going to be won by the person who creates more content. It will be won by the person who creates better content. It's all about making that deliberate, conscious shift from chasing volume to creating real, undeniable value.
That single idea is the foundation of everything we're going to explore together. This is your chance to build a sharper, more persuasive, and frankly, a more human voice in an age that desperately, desperately needs one. So the only question left is, are you ready to forge yours?